my name is Warren and welcome to my new video series, Terraria Hardcore. Terraria Hardcore. I have trouble pronouncing Terraria sometimes for some reason. Anyway, my name is Warren and a lot of you might know me as DJ Random on the PS4. I'm just making this video because I want to go back through and experience Terraria from the beginning like I did when I first started it many years ago. So right here you can see that I am making my character. You can see that I am making him hardcore so that if he dies he will be dead. This is the first little clip. I will be back after the transition and explain exactly what I'm going to do during this Terraria hardcore experiment that I am doing. Alright, well, let me talk a little bit about the project that I'm doing. I recorded this episode in a couple of pieces without any voiceover or commentary. Now I have episode 1 already finished and recorded that one with commentary, so I'm adding the commentary to the footage we have here after the fact. When I put episode 1 up, the commentary was recorded as I was playing. So anyway, Terraria Hardcore. Basically, as I said before, I wanted to go back to what it felt like to actually start out this game. Now I've started it several times, but you get to the point where you have so much money, so much equipment that nothing really can kill you. I mean, it can kill you, but you just come back alive and just keep hacking at it until it is dead. So I wanted to do this hardcore series to show that we can get through the game on 1 or 2 characters, or 3 or 4. I don't know how many I'll use. Basically, my idea is every character I make for this episode will be a hardcore character. When he or she dies, he or she will be dead, period. But the remains of that person's experience will still be in this world. So once I build a building, whoever comes after the first character will be able to use that building. Now, anything that the character has on him when he dies is it'll be lost. Unless I'm delving down there and it just happens delving down to wherever the person died at and it happens to still be there. But actually no, when you do hardcore characters you lose all your equipment, so never mind. When the character is dead, the character is dead. So this is the first protagonist. His name is Hardly here. I gave him blue hair, I gave him red clothes and red eyes. I want him to kind of resemble an anime character, you know, with the spiky blue hair and all that. And I think I did a pretty good job. I am not overly fond of the starting equipment that they give you in this world, but what can you do? It's just what you do when you start out. As an aside, some of this information might be repeated in episode 1 that I'll be putting up later, because it was like 3:30 in the morning when I recorded it and I was just kind of rambling. Alright. This is the console version of the game, and we are at version 1.06, and it doesn't quite coincide with the PC version of the game. I think we have most of the 1.2.3 update on the PC, but I don't think we have all of it. So as I'm playing through the game, if you're used to seeing this on the PC, you might find that there's some differences. Every video I make will only be about 10 to 15 minutes long. Part of that is because the recording function on the PS4 only records in 15-minute chunks at a time. Now you can get past that by just hitting record again when you're finished with manual recording a game, but I decided just to make these videos in really small chunks so that people who don't have a lot of time can just sit down and watch these. So right here I am, as you saw, I am building my first house. I made it long and narrow. This will be the home to my first NPC, which is usually the guide, and I am just going to go around collecting some minerals and stuff here in a minute. At this point, I knew I needed to get down to the bottom, but I didn't want to fall down and crash and kill myself because this is a hardcore game. So I just build a little tunnel down to the bottom and go get all that metal down there. Now, I had forgot I did this because I recorded episode 1 about 2 weeks after I recorded this footage. So in episode 1, you'll hear me talking about how I don't have any metal or anything like that. Part of it, like I said, is like 3:30 in the morning. Part of it is that it had been so long since I played this world that I forgot. So forgive me for that. Anyway, our character Hardly is just making his way down to this little natural tunnel down there, and he's going to go down and grab all that copper and such down at the bottom. This is a game that's a lot like Minecraft, but it has more of an adventure RPG element to it. Now, Minecraft has added some of that stuff into it, but it still doesn't have the same feel as Terraria. This is a side-scrolling game, but it actually is an open-world sandbox, and you can do pretty much anything within the game world. But two of the main things that you do in the game is mining and crafting. Of course, you also have to kill a lot of bad guys and make sure you don't die. So my goal for this hardcore experiment is to get Hardly to the end of the game without dying. But like I said before, I don't know if that'll happen because you can die pretty easy in this game. It is something that happens quite a bit when you're not thinking about it. So I have to play a little bit more strategically than I have in the past. Just think about my actions before I do them a little bit more. Make sure I have the correct equipment when I go out spelunking. Make sure that I look at the map area I'm in before I go into it. Things like that. Don't jump off of high cliffs because there is fall damage, and you die from fall damage in this unless you have the right equipment. As you can see, I am putting up my walls for the house that I'm in. To get a house that is considered livable and which NPCs will move into, you have to have some kind of surface object like a table, a workbench, a bar, something like that. Something to sit on like a chair, and a light source. So as you can see, you also have to have you have to have a ceiling, a floor, left and right walls, and a back wall. So as you can see, I put up the ceiling, the floor, the left and right wall, and I put in the workbench, which I use to help create and craft stuff. I'm about to put up some torches to be the light source. And I like having a lot of light, so I tend to put up torches or lights everywhere I go. And you also need a chair to make the place homey. And there we go, I have a chair. Thank you for listening today, and I hope you enjoy this series. Y'all have a good one. Make sure you subscribe to my channel.